Hello, this is the review of episode 7 of RuPaul Drag Race All Stars 10, the third bracket. This is Pedro, and welcome to Beyond the Drag, where we dive into drag contests worldwide. For the moment I'm recording this, already the last episode of this bracket premiered. So on this time, I will go quick and just review the entrances looks as the maxi challenge with some highlight at the ends. Now, let's review the entrance looks. My ranking system goes 0 meaning worst and 5 meaning perfection. As well, the order on my reviews goes along with it. So, up first, Acid Betty with 3. Now, I understand that this is not a challenge. These were only the entrance looks, and they just didn't know they were going to be introduced in the runway. So, I mean, it's totally fine what they can bring here. Acid is my bias, and here I have to say this was the look that I like the least because it's simple. It's fine. Again, I do appreciate she's giving her aesthetic, which I love. I really love the makeup. I think it's what truly saves the look because it's complex along the head pieces. She's wearing a bodysuit down this jacket, which is fine. I don't think the orange color of it was the best decision. Along something that makes the look not at its finest are the leggings, which for me were kinda not matching anything on the whole aesthetic. Cause I don't understand if her color scheme is pink or orange, and the boots were a good choice, I think. And yeah, safe. But I like those combinations with the jacket and that she wanted to go with her aesthetic. Next, Ginger Minj with a 4. I think it could be higher, not gonna lie, but it's something safe for her. Really well executed. Love the wig, love the makeup. She's following the same texture or the same fabric, even in the back. Something that I just don't like were the leggings. It's the same situation as with Acid, but with Ginger, I feel it's just not her skin color. I really like the silhouette, the cut of the skirt. I think the jacket was really well constructed for her. Overall, I feel there's some wrinkles here and there, and even though I can understand it's because of the fabric, I don't think it could be the best execution. As a whole, I think the look works and look expensive enough, but as I said in the beginning, I feel it's just really safe for her. Next, Alyssa Hunter with 4.1. This look is pretty fresh. I feel as well it's something different and I really like it. I'm a fan of the style she followed here. The wig is cohesive to the look. She, like Ginger, follow the same texture throughout the fabric. I only feel she could use better heels because with the texture she did on the top of the leggings, it seems it's faded. We don't see the heels. And like Ginger, I could say she could have elevated this and make something more gagging. But again, these are just entrance looks and all cool. The look as a whole looks expensive enough, but there's something about the fit of the shoulders where for me it's kind of small. I feel it needed to be a little bit bigger so the look could have had more presence and give us that elevation. Next, Cynthia with 4.3. I love the complexity of the look. There's a lot of elements that are hard to make cohesive and to look good as a whole. I like the neck, the cards being used as an accessory, the wavy, transparent piece in the back and the front. The wig is a good choice. The makeup is elevated. The detail for me with this look is that from the mermaid cut down, the fabric overall looks not finished because there's only like a black heart here, another heart there, and I don't think the mermaid cut had the best execution. And more, as I understand, this was designed for one of my favorite drag queens ever, the Mexican drag queen Avias Who, and I'm always biased by her designs, but on those details I mentioned, I think it could have been better. Imagine that instead of the mermaid cut, have maybe Cuckoo having a voluminous fabric and also with a shiny texture similar to the one she has in the wavy pieces. I think it will make the look so much more expensive. Next, Diabetes with 4.5. I understand there's not much complexity with this look when it comes to fabrics, sewing works, but I think everything is on point and every accessory cloth she's using is complementing the look, and this is really good for me. I appreciate the punk aesthetic, the Converse influenced boots, the shiny skirt, the headphones, pretty punk, emo, Y2K, MySpace. For sure, the only situation with this look is the same like Alyssa or Ginger. It feels safe and not something risky. Regardless, I insist, the look as a whole is really well thought and had a consistent execution and harmonious on all the look from head to toe. Finally, number one, Denali with 4.7. This is the same situation with Daya. This is a look really well done, well thought, not risky, but she is selling what she is. Everything is there with a level head. It is pretty intelligent. The makeup is just what it has to be done for a look like this, and her aesthetic. I appreciate the edgy lines she used on her makeup. This is totally an elevated look from her entrance look originally. The body is well made, there's no miss. The same with the boots. The fluory fabric elevated the look and gives to it a lot of dimension. She used a really good wig and needs just not a 5 because I only think like Daya or Ginger, there's not like that wow factor in it. But I insist, really consistent and intelligent look. Now we move on directly to the maxi challenge, which is in pairs. One needs to create a good witch look and the other one a wicked witch look. And they need to create a backstory which will also be presented in the main stage. For my ranking, I took in consideration the runway and the backstory performance. So from my bottom to my top, 0 means worst, 5 means perfection. Up first, we have the team Acid and Denali with 3.5. About the looks, Denali has a look that overall looks decent, and from the bottom, the cut and how the waist looks, it's pretty good. The detail with it, the design from the shoulders looks like a little bit cardboard. Too rigid, I think, or at least it looks like it needed more fabric so it doesn't look that rigid. The wig is a good choice along the accessories she used on her waist and the wig. With Acid, the makeup is insane and the wig is insane, but when it comes to the challenge, that is the look, I feel it feels cheap and it needed to be elevated more in a way where it could assemble the fact she didn't do it right here. The shoulders as the Nali look too cardboard, and I think it needed to be edited a lot. And when it comes to the bottom of the look, I think it looks like some fabrics were arranged haphazardly, which is weird because I know this is the forte of Acid, so I don't know what happened here. About the backstory, I think they were doing good mimics and performance and was decent, but for sure I think it was not memorable and it needed more over the top script or just memorable moments. Next, I have Team Ginger and Daya with 4.5. I have to say right away that these two looks were my favorites, and if it comes to only being based on the looks, they are top 2. On Ginger, she used this matte fabric, which is pretty difficult to work with. Either way, it looks elevated and she excelled. It has this texture, the tail is really well made, a good wig decision, and most important than anything, it doesn't look like she did it right there. It looks that elevated in such a level that, and I don't see I don't see anything bad on it for real. I think it could be possible maybe to play a little bit more with accessories or something like Daya did. But now with Daya is the same thing. It doesn't look she did this right there. It looks that elevated again. The use of the feathers, the earrings, the cut of the long skirt, everything is on point. I don't see anything bad for real. And even I will say that's, yeah, it's a perfect look. It's a 5, I insist, just on the look. And I repeat it, if this is only a 7 challenge, they are the top 2. On the backstory, I think it was memorable enough and really playful. Also, the script was well thought. Both look confident enough and pretty funny. Pretty good work. And finally, Alyssa and Cynthia with 4.7. I'm starting here with the backstory because I have to say that was iconic 100%. Really memorable, playful, intelligent, camp. The performance of both is a 5, and it was what it needed to be done. Really over the top. And about the looks, it's the same situation like Denali and Asset, which for me, the piece Cynthia has in the front, these blue leaves, and the red flames Alyssa has looks cardboardish. And for me, it misses the fantasy. On Cynthia, the look overall was pretty well made. The cut down, the veils on her arms, the veil in the back. The detail is that the fabric down doesn't look that expensive or elevated enough along the blue leaves. About the upper part, the flowers and texture look expensive enough, so I think that if she would have followed that texture, it could look better. With Alyssa, I appreciate a lot the complexity on the look. Like Cynthia, she has this veil in the back that elevated the look a lot. But when it comes to the flames, I feel it looks kinda messy and not executed in the best way. The headpiece and the wig looks really good, and I think was a smart decision for the aesthetic she followed on this look. Now, the top 2, as you know, were Ginger and Daya. As we know, RuPaul always say based on the runway and performances. But I feel in this case they were only based on the 7 challenge. If that's the case, as I said, I think it's fair the win to Ginger and Daya. But when it comes to performance, Alyssa and Cuckoo were the first place by beyond. On the results, I'm happy. I think it's fair and they deserve it. Now, on the lip sync, I think this one was really difficult to do, and for sure Ginger had this in her bag. This was interpretation 100%. Daya did really well, and the winner is Ginger. So 3 points for Ginger and 2 points for Daya. Finally, I want to summarize some general thoughts. This was a good start for this group of queens. Again, I think Ginger deserved it along Daya. And for the moment I'm recording this, as I said, these bracket eliminations have already finished airing. And just besides with the past bracket, for sure, it seemed there was some rigged results. But more on that for the next emission. Tell me please, what is your opinion? Cynthia and Alyssa were robbed. What do you think about the looks? Tell me please everything. And this was Pedro, and see you on the next one. Bye!